Hello and welcome to another Verbling class. We'll get started shortly when students arrive. Tonight's class is conversation. And probably the first thing we should do is get some lights on in here because it's pretty dark. Oh, I know the light bulb's gone out. Great. Hello, Edson. Hello, Dental.
Yeah,
How are you?
yeah, I'm fine.
And where are you from?
I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Well, it's 7 o'clock here, so in Saudi Arabia it's got to be early Friday morning.
Yeah, it's at 2 a.m.
2 a.m. You should be in
Yeah,
bed.
maybe.
Maybe. I feel like I should be in bed and it's much earlier here. Well, welcome, Dental. Good to see you.
Yeah, I am Omar with you. Yeah,
Sorry?
my name is Omar.
Omar? Okay, it just says Dental. That's why I see there. Okay, Omar. Well,
Oh, it's okay.
welcome to class. Amp, hello.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm annoyed.
What's happened?
Well, a light bulb has gone out. And it's right over there, and I need it for class, but I can't do anything about it. I got 2 hours of classes before I can fix it.
Really?
You ever feel like you just want to get something done and you can't?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Frustrating.
It's like having a bit of corn stuck in your teeth.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Or a splinter in your finger. It's annoying.
Yeah.
No one's going to die, but it's annoying. Edson, hello.
Hi.
Nice cup of tea. Can't start class without a good cup of tea. How's
Tea?
Edson? Tea, yeah. Tea's very important.
I'm fine. Do you like tea? I'm
No,
I'm
I love tea.
I'm drinking orange juice. Do you want?
No, too much sugar.
No, without sugar.
There's no such thing. Orange juice is
It's
full of
n
sugar.
it is natural.
So's uranium, but I don't want too much of that either.
Come on.
Seriously, my friend, all orange juice is full of sugar.
I don't think so because I did it. And well,
All right,
maybe
I
natural
found
sugar.
today's topic. Okay, guys,
hmm
here's today's topic. Edson is my inspiration. We're going to talk about processed food.
Mm.
And I'm going to
Do you,
start by talking about orange juice. So
and juice
orange
is
juice,
nice.
most people think is very healthy. I certainly did. After all, it's made from oranges, right? Well, how many oranges could you eat in one meal? 1, 2 maybe? 3? Three's a lot. In one glass of orange juice, you can have as many as 8 or 12 oranges. That's a lot of oranges. And you're not getting the fiber, you're getting all the sugar. It might be natural sugar, but it's still sugar. So juices, you got to be careful with them because they are no healthier than a can of pop.
But if it is
That, that, doesn't,
squeezed by you,
that doesn't matter. I don't care if your mother squeezed it. It's not any healthier. So what I'm
okay.
going to do, I need my phone. I can't do the timer without my phone. See, I'm useless today. Where's my phone? It's probably upstairs. But anyhow, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give each of you 1 minute,
Mhm.
and I want you to tell me what you think about when it comes to food, processed food. You can talk. I want to hear Edson talk about orange juice or drinks, but I want each of you to pick a processed food and tell me a bit about it. I've got my timer here. So I'm going to start with AMP. Turn that light off. Turn that light off. There we go. So AMP, you've only got a minute. What can you tell me about processed food?
Well, they are not healthy at all because they have a lot of preservative on it and conservative and many artificial flavors, artificial color also. And yeah, it's better if you avoid them, to get rid of them. It's better. I know that people prefer because it's easier to just reheat something in your oven on your microwave instead of preparing it. But if at the end of the year you can count how many pounds have you increased in your weight because of all of this. So, well, I try to eat every day just food prepared at home without all of them, the preservative. From time to time, maybe I can have a young food every 3 months, maybe.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, AMP said, watch out for preservatives, but preservatives are great. They make food last longer, right?
No.
No, some of those preservatives aren't very good. All right, Omar, you've got a minute. Preservatives, health food, processed food. Is there anything wrong with processed foods?
Yeah, about preservative, I think that preservative is do a fixation with the with the drinks, okay, and if we eat the preserved the juice or the processed juice or food, the preservative will act inside our body, so it will make difficult to make it digested well, and it may stuck and make some like belly in the abdomen. Or so I think it have a harm effect in the when the person getting older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be. I understand that diabetes affects younger people too, so maybe you don't have to be old for this to affect you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Edson, what's wrong with
Hi.
orange juice?
Can I change for like McDonald's? You know, artificial ingredients like they put together bread and some vegetables and meat, beef, and some kind of sauce as well. If you, for example, if you eat things like one, one, two or three, maybe three or four, I don't know, kinds of different McDonald's cheeseburger, you are gonna get diabetes first. You're gonna get nauseous if you eat one, because in just one has a lot of sugar, and you don't notice, but you are eating.
Thank you, Edson.
All right.
Well, it was probably smart to get off the whole orange juice thing. I don't know why my camera stopped working, but we'll see if it comes back in a little bit. If not, I can exit and come back in. Hi, Raphael.
Hello, Simon.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Thank you. We're talking about processed foods and how they're good for us.
I don't think they are really good for us because since Aristotle already explained, there's a lot of chemistry involved and a lot of conservants, and chemical substances to preserve the food, and it's very harmful for our health since we're ingesting this processed food, and we don't. Most of us are not even sure about the dangers of eating processed food since we are eating these substances, and I don't think scientists are truly aware about the consequences of ingesting this processed food. I think.
Well, let's be fair. Come on, companies aren't going to hurt us. They're not going to try to make money off us by killing us, now are they? We're consumers. They want us to live, right?
Exactly, but I think they are more interested in the profits.
No.
In our health, I think.
That's shameful. I can't believe anybody would put money before people's health. That's just terrible. Well, we've got a good cross-section of topics here. Preserved foods, chemicals, fast food, preparing food at home. What I want to do now, this is where I kind of open up and give you guys a bit more time. I'm going to open up to 4 minutes. Amp, you get to speak with Omar, and I want you guys to discuss this. Preservatives, processed foods. You know, obviously we all love fresh food, but are processed foods really bad for us? And if so, maybe we can talk about what about them is bad. Amp and Omar, go ahead, please. You've got 4 minutes.
Okay, well, there are some chemicals that we need, for example, to export some fruits, for example, from my country to Asia or Africa. It's necessary in order to preserve for a long time during the time that they have to arrive to the other side of the world. But when they are outside, it's okay. But when the fruit it's immersed for a long time, well, I think that it changes the properties. What do you think?
Omar, if you don't want to talk, you don't have to. You can go to somebody else.
Yeah, please exchange it.
All right, Amp, talk to me then. You've got me.
Yeah. Generally, for example, in your country, you didn't have a production for fruits or vegetables the whole year, and most of them are coming from California, the nearest place, or from Chile, and all of them they are using chemicals to get to your place.
Yes, so things like bananas I'm not too worried about because they have a thick skin that you can peel off, right?
Yeah.
So
that kind of fruit, no problem.
Yeah, and organic bananas are very cheap here, so they're only about 20 cents a pound more expensive than regular bananas, so it's very cheap. So quite often we'll go with organic bananas.
Well, I don't think that it is organic bananas because you are going to get rid of the peel, so it's absurd to pay for something that said it's organic, but you are not going to use the peel.
Well,
that's okay. For example, an apple that you are going to eat with all of the peel, but
well, that depends really. So that protects against sprays that touch the banana, but for the fertilizers or the sprays that go into the ground, those will be brought up into the bananas and into the fruits and the vegetables. And what I heard, one of the reasons why the bees have been dying off around the world is a certain fertilizer that gets into the soil, and it's killing off the bees. So, maybe these are having a bad effect on us.
Well, you know that the pharmaceuticals and the companies that elaborate fertilizers, they don't assume the responsibility, and they said no, there is something that is just useful to eliminate plagues, and that is the way that they sell them.
Hmm. Well, here, you're right. We don't grow food all year round, but still, things like onions and potatoes, they're kept in cold areas, and we can still have them throughout the year. They're not as fresh as they are in the summer or the fall, but here in Canada, we don't have as many options. But there, one things we can do is we can wash our fruits and vegetables. We can choose vegetables that have thicker skins, like bananas. Those that don't, we peel them, peel them thickly. We can go for organic fruits and vegetables and meats.
The difference in prices in between. Oops.
Rats. Yes, there is a difference in price, of course. All right, next we have Edson and Raphael. So now, Raphael, I think we can have a little bit of fun here if we tease Edson about his orange juice. I'm not suggesting that we steer the conversation, but it could be fun if we tease him about the orange juice. What do you think?
But you know, Rafael, for example, if we pay attention on orange juice, the orange as at all, if you inject some kind of chemical substance in the orange, what's gonna happen? It's gonna, of course, gonna make the orange faster. It's gonna be better for us to squeeze it to do the orange juice. However, we're gonna see a lot of guys that could grow slowly. They grow faster than it is supposed to grow. You understand?
Yes, I think they do. I think they're already doing it with everything, not only orange, but also
Yeah.
almost every product we can see in the market nowadays. It's full of conservants, and they try to ingest, as you mentioned, something to avoid prags, to avoid prog, and to avoid infestation of insects and something which might harm the food and make it unavailable for eating. So
Yeah.
I think they and as I explained, we are ingesting this hormones and we are ingesting this chemical substance which might harm us or which might harm us. I think and
Yeah. What I am so scared about the situation that when they put in a bottle, like corn in a bottle, and they put some kind of liquid to maintain the long life. And when you ingest this kind of food, you probably may get a terrible stomachache, like, or some infection from the corn.
yes, I agree because we don't know which substance we are ingesting. It's because I don't think they are really interested in let us know to which substance we are ingesting because they haven't performed enough studies to ensure that this type of substance is healthy for our body and furthermore, there is always a question of there is a matter of, as already explained, profits and to since the demands lately has soared up and I think they have to produce a lot because they have to attend the market and probably this would affect the quality of the food and it's
Yeah,
complicated.
they can control the value of the product. Like, they can put more time or less time to be valid. then
So
you need to get control. The manager needs to get control the situation as well, and it can damage customers, can damage everybody. The situation.
Yes, agree.
Wow. Here's something else about orange juice. I got to pick on Edson, but there was a news story about a year ago here in Canada, and it talked about orange juice that's made in Canada and the United States. And even those that were labeled as all natural weren't. So what happens is when they harvest the oranges, because they're grown at a certain time of year, and they store them in large vats, the orange juice. But over that time, what happens is they lose their flavor. The flavor disappears. But you're thinking, well, wait a minute, I just tried some orange juice. It tastes amazing. Well, what they do is they inject a perfume or some sort of flavor. Now, it's a natural, quote, a natural flavor, but it gives it its taste that most people like. In fact, it tastes better than actual orange juice. So sometimes they'll put stuff in our product and not even put it on the label. Edson says it's awesome. I'm sure he does. All right, now AMP went away. Is AMP back?
yes, I am.
Here you are. Okay. You just typed back. All right. So, Omar, do you want to speak with AMP again?
Yes,
Or you
okay.
wanna- Okay, good, good. So I'm going to give you guys, again, 4 minutes. Well, before I set the timer, though, I want to introduce another topic, genetically modified. I had some grapes the other day, and I can't believe these things are natural. The grapes were this big, like from here to here, the width of my finger, bigger than my finger, more like my thumb. They were huge. They were tasty, but they were huge. Some people hate genetically modified. Now, me personally, I don't know much about it. We make some changes and we hope for the best. And unless it's tested over years and years, how do you truly know? And that's the fear about genetically modified foods. We won't know right away if they're bad for us. Amp and Omar, go ahead, please. You've got 4 minutes to talk about processed foods and genetically modified foods.
Yeah. Okay. You will start.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Just I remember that I see a video in YouTube that they are bring the chicken and they are injected by some solution to make it you know, looks so fat,
Bigger.
to make it easier for sealing. Yeah, this is one of the things that is, of course, it will harm the customers. What you can say?
Yes, yeah, I also I saw this video, and yeah, it's concerned that all these procedures are applied in order to get more money, to have more meat from the chicken, and even though when they stop being an animal, since they were modified for the human. It's the same with the peppers or tomatoes that you can see a big ones at the supermarket. When you grow out outside your home, it never have this size. That's the explanation that they are doing something. They are adding something to modify them, and even I think that they don't taste the same that if you
Correct.
plant your own fruits and vegetables.
Yeah,
How
and
often do you eat it? These kind of.
well, it's you know, it's a lot in the market.
Mhm.
Actually, also about junk food, it's you know, the person is between two ways about junk food. He should decide to take the taste of the junk food that he loves, or take a healthy food which may be tested less than the junk food. So this is, depend on the person and his how to overcome his desire in food. Yeah.
Yeah, the difference is between in the prices. Sometimes people just said no, this is cheaper, and that is why they buy them. But they know that it's not healthy at all. But if you count the money that you are supposed to saving, at the end you have to go to the hospital or you have to pay for the doctor, and the amount of money that you are going to spend is huge. Yeah, so maybe people just think at the moment, but you are not thinking at the future.
But also, in the junk food, people are usually, or they are, addicted to drink some soft drinks like cola, or so
Yeah.
it's like addiction actually.
Yeah,
Addiction.
addiction, yes, probably they have any substance that became the product addictive, and that is the success of this kind of change of uh, but yeah, I think that people, the government, that they should have more campaigns about that with advertising that but it doesn't happen in many countries.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much, guys.
Okay.
All right, next we have Edson and Raphael. Um, so it's interesting what you guys are talking about. You know, and this also goes to the cost of food too. And as more and more people are on the planet, food increases. Now, me and Omar, we live in climates that are very harsh. You can't grow many crops in our countries, or at least you can't grow them for very long, or you need greenhouses. So we rely on the rest of the world to feed ourselves. So when I buy bananas, I'm competing for bananas with Omar, who wants bananas, and with anybody else who can't grow bananas. The more people on the planet, the higher those costs can go over time. So when you look at healthy natural food getting more and more expensive, it's kind of scary because that leaves processed foods as the most affordable to many of us. Edson and Raphael, what do you guys think about that?
Well, artificial food, like um, artificial food and genetic modified food, they are nowadays, of course, since 2000, they are getting, they are growing very fast, but genetic modified, it's more profitable. They can create what they want. They can modify what kind of food they want, and yeah, something. What do you think about?
I'm really skeptical about this subject. I think there is no way back from the current scenario of food processing, and because one of the main reasons, because, well, nowadays we are more than 7 billion people, so it's getting even harder to feed everyone, and the life conditions are getting harsher and harsher every day, and uh, since we don't have, I believe that it's notorious that droughts are becoming more and more severe, and places which were easy to crop vegetables and food, other types of foods in the past, are no longer easy to grow, and say they have to. Unfortunately, this is leading themselves to develop to try to establish another techniques of processing food. Sister
Yeah.
explained like uh, uh, modified food, modified genetically modified food, just to support these severe droughts and these harsh conditions. So I
Yeah.
believe this is it's a no way back. I think there's no way of return on this process.
And by the way, they gain control of the food, of the profit, of the price of the foods, and they gain control of the population as well. The number of the death decrease or increase sometimes. If you don't know, I want the population get down or getting up. Get up or no, but just getting down. And then you modify the foods, put a lot of chemical substantial, and you can damage the food and damage our stomach. But w- my opinion, the most let's say the most tasteful kind of food is not like food, it's a liquid like coca. You can find coca around the road, and this is the terrible kind of liquid that you can consume, and you can destroy your stomach.
Yes, I agree with that because in medium and long terms, we're not the consequences of drinking this type of of beverages. It's totally harmful for our body. And there's no comparison. There's no way of compare between two people who one of them just has drunk healthy beverages like juices and or fruits.
Thank
Which
you.
one who have drinking Coca-Cola and everything?
Okay, so I'm going to do things a little different now. I'm going to spend 2 minutes with each of you, and I'm going to start with Amp. So Amp, you say you eat mostly natural foods at home. You don't go out to eat as much.
Yes, yes. Most of the time, yes, at home. Um, Prepare at home the food. Just from time to time, we go out to a restaurant, but it's not fast food. But even the at the restaurants, you don't know what kind of oil, how many times they have fried something on it, or you cannot see it. But it's not frequently, not so often. Most of the time, we prepare the food at home. Yeah.
Do you grow any of your own food?
Yes, I have tomatoes and lemon, but yeah, but pepper also.
What
Yeah,
kind of peppers?
and green pepper.
Like bell peppers or hot peppers?
No, the first one.
Mm, I love those bell peppers.
Yes, I like also. But if you for example, at the supermarket, you can find the big ones, and that is when you said, this is they have something else on it. Yeah, because the ones that I have, it doesn't happen never, where it's a regular size, and the ones at the supermarket are big.
Well, keep
Yeah.
in mind that carrots that we eat today are much bigger than the natural ones our ancestors had. Natural carrots are maybe this long and is almost as thin as the hairs on our head. They're very, very thin. Like the kind of roots you would get from dandelions, very similar. But we haven't genetically modified them, but since we started farming thousands of years ago, we started fiddling around with the vegetables so that way when we planted things, we did it in a way so we could modify them and grow them bigger. It's like dogs. They all came from wolves, but how we got them together, how we changed their mating practices, we were able to accentuate and create different breeds of dogs.
Exactly.
So we can play around a little bit, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's the fear of actually changing the genes that scares people.
Yep.
Okay, dental. I keep saying dental. Omar,
Okay. Yes. Mm.
what do you grow in your country? What fruits and vegetables are native to Saudi Arabia?
Well, there is no a lot of it's, what watermelon and melon and dates, but there is not a lot of food. Uh, Most of the food are coming outside except some vegetables. Yeah,
Yeah, so you
and
live in a hot desert, and it feels like I live in a cold desert.
yeah. So what only we can get is the vegetables, but about the fruits, mostly it's from outside of the countries.
Yeah, so we have unique problems.
Hmm.
And you're well aware that you have a lot of oil to offer the world, and you can see what happens when there's a shortage of oil. It really, really makes life difficult for many countries.
Sure.
When there's a shortage of food, countries like yours and mine feel it.
Yeah, it's even the price is changing a lot about the food, especially these days.
Yeah.
I mean, if the country have its own own food, I mean vegetables or fruits, I think it will be in constant a little bit price. I mean,
That would certainly help. I see the same here. Our dollar, because oil has gone down,
hmm,
and we're like you, we're a net exporter of oil. We have a lot of oil. They say second only to Saudi Arabia, but it's
hmm,
very costly to get out of the ground.
yeah,
So when oil is expensive, things are good for both our countries. When oil is cheap, it affects our currency, which affects the price we pay for our fruits and vegetables. It's tough.
yeah, yeah. It sure is, but I think it's not for the. It's about the country, but about the person, I think it can be opposite. Why? Because when you buy something from outside, when the oil is expensive, you will get it also expensive as a person, not as a country.
Yes, us
So
little people, we always seem to get the short end of the stick. Thank you,
yeah.
Omar. Edson,
Hi.
how's that orange juice? Are you enjoying it?
Yes, I enjoy, but I prefer much more wines or beers than orange juice. I think, of course, uh, by the way, I think in my opinion, wines and beers, they are better for your body than any other artificial food or fast food or I don't know what kind.
You are aware that alcohol is a toxin, correct?
Yes, but since you consume just a little bit of alcohol, not just that much. For example, when you are having dinner, you can drink just one cup of one glass of wine, for example, or beer, two glass of beer, for example. You don't need to consume a lot of beers or wine.
No, you don't. And a study has shown that you only have to binge drink once in a while, and it can seriously affect your health.
What, beers or wine?
Well, binge drinking, it doesn't matter. Any binge drinking is unsafe.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of course I don't know, but you see it's said in the bottle of the wine or of the beers that the percentage of alcohol, but this actually is not that percentage that they put. It's of course sometimes it's even bigger, much more than what it is stated. Never, of course, never is less than it is. Mainly for beers.
Thank you very much. Raphael! What are you having for dinner tonight?
Tonight, sandwich.
Made of?
Actually, was an hamburger and with cheese and
Processed cheese?
yes, cheddar cheese. Actually,
Processed bun?
I think so.
Processed meat?
Probably.
How are you feeling about your dinner now?
I don't know. Nothing to say about it.
But I bet it tasted good, right?
Yes, at least was very tasty.
Well, I had a pizza yesterday, and you know, I don't eat pizzas very often. I really enjoyed it. Now, it has cheese on it, which is processed, which is a lot of fat, and fat isn't a bad thing, so I'm not worried about the fat content of cheese.
It depends on how much.
Well, it does depend on how much, but fat in itself is not good. It's not bad for you. Fat is good for the body. It's one of those things where if you eliminate it, it's worse for you than having it. It's like cholesterol. Cholesterol is good for your body. Did you know that cholesterol is good for you?
I think there are two types of cholesterol. There are the good cholesterol and there are the bad cholesterol. I
No,
think.
they're both good.
Both?
Yes.
Never heard
Cholesterol
about
is
it.
an essential compound for your body. In fact, if you take statins and other drugs to lower it, you very quickly feel the effects of it. Cholesterol is very important for the brain and other parts of the body. And there's this belief that high cholesterol leads to higher counts of heart disease. But recent studies have shown that that's not the case. In fact, people who generally have heart disease or heart problems don't necessarily have high levels of cholesterol. Yes, LDL or HDL. But these are considered bad cholesterols is not so much true. In fact, if your cholesterol drops, your body tends to produce more.
Honestly, it's getting harder to believe what
It
these
is
scientists
getting
say.
very hard to believe. And it's partly money from large companies. They don't want you to believe that sugar is bad for you, for example.
Exactly.
Or, oh, sugar is bad for you. Okay, so let's remove it from everything. Right? Or fat is bad for you. Let's add lots of sugar so it tastes good. Well, now you're getting all this sugar, and that's not good for you. So some of the recent studies have indicated that fast foods, when we eat a lot of them, the amount of good bacteria in our gut decreases. If we eat good foods, we have better bacteria in our gut. If we live very, very clean lives, we generally have a higher chance of being sick. Because we're not encountering any germs our immune system doesn't want to do, and it attacks us. People who grow up eating dirt, playing in the dirt, like myself, didn't have these problems, but others are. And it's relatively recent, and you guys can find this out yourselves. But if you look on the internet, you'll hear studies about how the health of our gut is very important in the foods we eat. Oatmeal, for example, is very good for your gut. Okay? So you got to be very, very careful what you consume, your environment that you live in. If your son, like my son's young, and he picks up stuff, and my wife says, make sure you wash his hands. Why? Because he's putting them in his mouth. Good. Dirt's good for him. He'll get germs. Yes, he will. And now his immune system has something to fight instead of attacking him personally and giving him allergies and other things. I think the immune system is like a teenager. If it's got nothing to do, it creates trouble. But give a teenager something to do, a challenge, and that teenager will work strong and will be efficient. Okay, I have a class coming up soon, so I have to leave at 55 minutes. That gives us 11 minutes. I want to give you guys 4 minutes of talk time again, like before, but I want to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to have Amp talk with Raphael, you guys can talk about anything that we've discussed so far. Go ahead, please.
It's in Brazil very popular to grow up organic food and to buy it.
Yes, yes, it is. But um, people are getting less acquainted with eating organic food since we are adopting the lifestyle of since we don't have enough time to, we're always living in a rush, and it's difficult to crop and to process our own food. And we have to buy this processed food, and it's complicated to sustain this lifestyle, I think.
Because of the
Yeah.
time.
Yes, mainly the time. Since you have explained something about, because you have planted some fruits and vegetables in your backyard, since you mentioned peppers and just a little bit, just some vegetables, some tomatoes or um, garlic or something like that. We can crop in small piece of land, and we can grow, but just minimal things, not something really consistent in our daily food, I think.
I mean, the prices is very different. The prices in between organic food and the regular one that is are grew up with fertilizers and
I don't think. Actually, I'm not. I have no. A lot. I don't have a lot of expertise in this subject about prices of food, but I think, um, at least here where I live, in a big city, we don't. It's hard to find organic food in supermarkets because they're they we're not used to buy it. Maybe we can find it in inner cities, smaller cities, which we can we can have more access to this organic food, naturally processed food, I think.
yeah. Yeah, it's the same here. Well, there are some small places where you can find organic food, but generally, no, most of them are just the normal one that exposed to the fertilizers. There is no a culture yet about eating healthy with organic food. No, not yet.
I see. I see. It's complicated. It's complicated to grow organic food nowadays since we don't have time and enough space. We don't have enough space to create huge crops and plantations to grow food, I think.
Well, there are well some herbs maybe that you can just plant at home, and because they don't need too much space. Generally nowadays, the apartments, the houses are small, so you're right. There are not many space like before that the houses have a big garden. But yes, it's just a few uh, amounts of products that you can grow up for yourself. Maybe the herbs, yes, important because you use them just naturally without concoction.
Oh,
Yeah.
time is up. Tea with or without sugar? Well, Edson, it's fake sugar, which is probably just as bad for me, but no, I don't have sugar in it. And sometimes I drink it without anything at all, just natural tea, because tea is really good. It has anti-carcinogens in it. So tea, I love it. I love it. It's great. It's great stuff. Well, I'm going to waste a few minutes here before I let the next two of you have a discussion because we've got a few minutes. And what I want to talk to you about is this. It's got nothing to do with food. You might have recalled in a previous class of mine that I talked about baseball, and I talked about a team called the Blue Jays. Well, they managed to beat the Texas Rangers and have gone on to the next stage, and now they're battling Kansas City. We're not doing too well. We're down 3-2, which is not bad. I hope we can come back to win. So this was one of the games we were playing against the U.S., and I guess they wanted to show a bit of patriotism there, and that's a rather big flag. So, yeah. No, that was a lot of fun. But something else I do really want to talk to you about. Coming up in 10 minutes in my next class, we're going to have a conversation class again, but it's going to focus on project management. We're going to use project management terminology related to communications management. And that's going to be, I think there might be a few seats left, but it should be full. This class is full, but there's only 4 of you here. I don't understand. But it's going to be a very similar structure. I'm going to be introducing terminology. I'm going to be having you guys engaged in conversation. If Omar comes to class, I'll be impressed because it's now almost 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's brave. So anyhow, I want to give Omar and Edson a chance to talk now, the last conversation of today's class. Go ahead, gentlemen. You've got 4 minutes.
What do you think about artificial food?
Yeah, artificial food. For me, I was before 3 months. I have 104 kilograms, so it was too much. And I decided to do some diet to escape from this kind of food. Okay, so in the 4 months I lost 2 kilograms. Okay, just to be, it's not depend more on exercise, but it's depend more on getting away from this kind of food. Actually, I cannot go 100%, but it's delicious. I should return, but once or 2 a week, not not 100%. Of course.
It's difficult to get rid of some kind of food that you love. For example, I don't know what about you, but like McDonald's or some kind of fast food is it's difficult to get rid of this. Because it's not that it's part of your life, your routine, but you like that. I don't know, because for example, I like this, and as well as lasagna, any other spaghetti. It's delicious as well.
Yeah, and
If
pizza also.
you let me, I'm gonna eat every day lasagna or spaghetti or both. One during the lunch and other during the dinner.
But I think about the companies, of course there is a lot of companies like McDonald's, but some of the companies, they are shaking the, like the frieds, I mean potatoes, okay, and it's or even the hamburger, and it's not, they put it outside, it's not, analyzed, so it can be, stick at the at the body. So I think we should also, from this bad type or bad item of the junk food, I think we should choose the least effect in our body.
Yeah, no.
What do you think?
And for example, the burger, when you buy a burger like fast food in supermarket, and you can eat burger with beer or wine, then this is the problem because you're not seeing that you are consuming some drugs, and it's a long time that your body will be complicated and but as again is it's delicious. They are delicious foods, and it's complicated not to buy this kind of foods.
So,
And
mhm.
go ahead.
Yeah. So you said we all both decide it's
Yeah,
delicious, but it have a harm effect in our body.
yeah.
So what to do? Actually, we will not stop it, but
What to do you, as Rafael
but the only
mentioned.
Yeah, the
you,
only solution to control it as much as we could.
you can crop grow your own food like I don't know, beans or rice or any other vegetable, banana or fruits, any other fruits as well.
Thank you, guys. The most astonishing thing I heard here is being at McDonald's, having a burger, and having beer or wine. In my country, you can't get beer or wine out of McDonald's because, trust me, they become a lot more popular. Well, guys, we've come to the end of another class. The reason I ended at 55 after is because I have back-to-back classes and I need time to do a little preparations. The conversation class, if you have time to join me next, is about project management. We're going to talk about what is a project, what is the importance of project communications management, and introduce some vocabulary. And then we're going to talk about managing projects and communicating and why it's important. And Edson, yes, you're becoming a staple student in my class along with Raphael and Amps, and so it's good to see you, Edson, enjoying the classes. So guys, I hope you can join me in 5 minutes. Omar, if you're not there, believe me, I understand. It's 3 in the morning. Good night, guys. Hopefully I'll see you all in 5 minutes. Cheers.
Thank
Okay.
you, teacher. Take care.
Thank you,
See
Sam.
you. Bye, guys.
Bye.